Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to take it all, standing tall. Fear I've weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into one final live show for the Masters weekend. Congratulations to now two-time major champion Jon Rahm, Masters champion, to join his U.S. Open championship from a few years back. Congrats to Jon Rahm. Generally going through the day, Rahm was just super steady from start to finish. Might as well go right to the scoreboard here. Let's see. So yeah, let's take a look at Jon Rahm. Started out with a birdie. Let's see, one bogey the whole round. It was just steady the entire time. Never really felt like things were super in doubt. It's just, he's really good. Let's fix this really quick. Let's fix that camera angle a little bit there. I make it worse, you bet. Okay. Sorry about that. Don't need to see anything behind me, you know? But, yeah, did just super steady, like I said a billion times. Brooks was slowly fading there as Rahm was kind of just going about his business. Made a few birdies on the front nine, but nothing crazy for Rahm. He shot a 35 on the front nine. Just kind of let Brooks fall apart. Rahm kept hitting his shots, clinical. Got it to the point where nobody was really going to compete, and he won by, 4 shots? Yeah. Congrats. Generally, I'm happy for Jon Rahm, but not as happy that final round was not the best final round we're ever going to get. Pretty generally uneventful. Like I said, Brooks wasn't doing anything. Rahm was just being clinical. Dude's a robot. Really good at golf. Big pileup of guys that were constantly getting to 6, 7 under, but no one really took it further than that. Obviously, Spieth got to 7 under. Phil finishes at 8 under par. But it didn't feel like there was ever a point where somebody was going to take that leap and come forward and really challenge Brooks when he was still up there, or challenge Rahm to really come and get it. It seemed like it was going to be either Brooks or Rahm the entire day. As the day went on, it was certainly more and more Rahm. I think at one point, because I had a little bet on Brooks to win right after he won in Orlando, I wanted to just hedge that bet with a Jon Rahm hedge there, but the best I was able to get, we were a couple holes in. I think Rahm had I think it might have gotten to a one-shot lead, and it was like minus 300 for Rahm. I was like, I think Brooks can get it back on the back nine, and he just didn't. And then odds never got any better from there. So I did not hedge my bet, and I did not win any money. So, but what are you gonna do? Things happen. Yeah, congrats, Jon Rahm. Moving forward, I think the biggest thing that's going to come out of this for me is live golf. So I think live. I said this on Twitter after things wrapped up, and all their kind of bot fanboy troll accounts. They're going to take a victory lap after these results. Let's go back to the scoreboard. Leaderboard. I'm sorry. So they're going to take a nice victory lap here, seeing Phil and Koepka T2, Patrick Reed T4. They're the main ones. Who else? That was really about it, and even T16. But what everybody was talking about more on Twitter, social media, was Phil, obviously, Brooks, obviously, and then Patrick Reed making a strong push there towards the end. He was another one that got it, I think, to 8 under at one point, but never really seemed like he was actually going to win. In my opinion, seeing what these guys do here just further delegitimizes live golf. Proved to me that this tour is not going to work. So it's not going to work as a competitive tour. Like, if you want to say this is direct competition to the PGA Tour for actual true golf competition, you're lying to yourselves. The live guys have been playing like complete shit, minus Brooks last week and Patrick Reed last week, which, surprise, surprise, a little tune-up for the Masters. Now when it matters, all of a sudden they turn it on, and we have Phil, Brooks, and Patrick Reed decided to show up and play golf. So let's bring up some leaderboard from Live, actually, and we'll see what that has to show there. That's don't want that. Whatever this will do. So let's see. Let's go to the first event of Live, Mayakoba, and let's find any of these guys. Any of those top 3 finishers from Live. Phil, 27th. There's 48 guys? 48 guys. Phil came in 27th. Brooks, 31st. And P. Reed, 38th. Not good in a 48-man field. Let's go to Tucson. How did we do here? Where are we? Where are my guys? Brooks, 29th again. Phil, 32nd. Where's Patrick Reed? And is Patrick Reed? Oh, Patrick Reed, 18th. Good job. There you go. So our top spot so far is 18th in a 48-man field. Really, really good. Let's go to the final one, where the week before the Masters. Coincidence? Brooks, he wins. Is there something coming up the week after Orlando? Yeah, the Masters. Patrick Reed, all of a sudden, none of these guys finished higher than 18th. All of a sudden, Patrick Reed, top 4. Brooks wins. Phil, I think, still played bad. But again, Phil doesn't care. He's just getting ready for the Masters, and he's probably working things out. Phil, 41st last week. And then he comes T2 for the Masters. Let's see, what are the actual standings here? This is a bad website. Standings. Where are these guys? Oh, it actually shows where they're at. So let's see. Brooks Koepka, now he's in first. He was in 29th at a 48, 31st after week 1. Where is Patrick Reed? I'm sure he bumped up too. Patrick Reed, now he's in 4th. Or no. Oh, that's where the finishes are. Okay. Brooks Koepka now in 5th, when I assume he was much, much lower. Patrick Reed now in 12th after this big finish. And then where's Phil? Phil's in 42nd out of 49, I guess. There's a substitution there at some point. Whatever. Still not good. So that's telling me if you if your players obviously do not care about the competitive aspect of your golf league, because they can all of a sudden flip a switch and decide, hey, when it matters, I can play. What's going on at Live then? Why can't they show up and play at Live? Now, if you can, sure, you can say that Brooks won last week. Like, he can show up and play. I would like to see how he does at the rest of the events that are not before the week, that are tune-ups for a major championship, where he obviously cares a ton, and he said he cares a ton, and he loves that feeling. Let's see where we're at then. All right. I think, like I said, Liv is going to promote this and take victory laps everywhere. But honestly, I think this was more of a death knell to the league, because I didn't really even consider this until afterwards. Is that exactly what I'm saying? Is that these players don't care about the competitive aspect of Live, and that's what's being sold. That it's a better competitive and more fun and competitive and best players in the world come to Live. It's not true because they don't care. And I think it really hit home this week that they do not care. So that's where I'm at on that. I definitely have changed my thoughts a little bit on Live. Just imagine being Brooks Koepka, or imagine being Phil Mickelson competing here for a chance to win a green jacket, having that fanfare, having all those patrons out there, and then you go from that to 2 weeks going to play at Live, having to read a putt on the green, listening to the fucking chain smokers in the background while you're trying to win a tournament. Like, that disconnect, good luck. Like, if you think that's a legit tour, good luck. All right? Yeah, I think it's going to fold sooner rather than later. Okay. Enough Live. Well, we're going to talk about some more Live next, actually, because it's Phil. Phil, the guy's a unicorn. Really hate that he had to go to Live, because shoots a 65 today, best round of the day, and yeah, he really tarnished his reputation. Obviously, I was never a huge fan of him, but I respect the hell out of his game. 52 years old, best finish ever, oldest player to ever finish in the top 5 of the Masters. I respect it. I don't like that he went to Live, and I don't really hate Live. They're selling a false product. Their players are selling a false product. If you're just going to be an exhibition tour, just say it. If you want to be straight up for entertainment and exhibition, do it. But it's not competitive. It's just not. Anything else on Phil? Not really. Jordan Spieth, playing with Phil, shoots the second best round of the day of a 66. He was one that maybe was going to be able to challenge, but he never really broke past that 7 under, 8 under barrier, while Rahm was at like 11 or 12. Yeah, you got to think that Spieth is going to get another one at some point. He's just special at Augusta. It's crazy to think that he only has one. It feels like he's been so close so many times here, and he has been in his short career. Well, not short at this point. He won his first one in 2015. It's been 8 years now. Yeah, you got to think he gets another one. Still a younger guy. We'll see. Brooks, diving a little bit deeper there. Just a slow bleed throughout. Just couldn't get anything going. No putts were falling. Drive was all over the place. He just ripped his first drive. Just so far left with the 3-wood off the tee on the first hole, which was a sign of things to come. Just didn't have control the whole day. I don't know if it shows his greens and regulation or fairways hit. 10 of 14, but it seemed like less. Yeah, bogeys 4, bogey 6, bogeys 9, just slow bleeding. We're getting to the back 9. Okay, can he do something with these par 5s? Bogey's 12, which takes a hit. Okay, birdies 13, which gives him a chance. bogeys 14 right afterwards. Birdies 15 to 16, unlikely on 16. And then when he actually had a chance, a little glimmer of hope on 17, if he was able to make that par putt, put a little pressure on Jon Rahm, that would only make it I think it would have been a two-shot lead at that point, heading to 18. Brooks, 18's, I think, was playing as the hardest hole on the course, or one of the hardest. If it's a two-shot lead going to 18, Brooks makes birdie, puts a lot of pressure on Jon Rahm, or a lot more pressure on Jon Rahm at least. We have a shot, but he ends up bogeying. Rahm makes par, and it's over after that. I just think, it was tough scene from Brooks all day. Just slow bleed. Was part of the reason why the round in general was pretty uneventful. Or not uneventful. Obviously, things happened, but it was anticlimactic. I don't know why I had any trouble saying that word, but yeah, honestly, I think that was one of the worst final rounds I've seen from a guy that was actually going to win. Like, we've seen other guys just totally blow up, but we knew they weren't going to win a major championship. Like, I think Russell Henley did it in the U.S. Open. We see it all the time that guys are in, like, the final group or something, and they just explode because they are not ready for it. Brooks has done this 4 times previously. You thought he was going to do it, and like I said, one of the worst rounds I can really remember from somebody that has major championship pedigree in them. So, tough. Another big story of the day was Patrick Cantlay just taking forever. It seemed like towards the end of it almost like he was doing it on purpose and just taking forever to walk off greens. He was not in it at all. He was like 5 under when the leaders were at 11 and 12 at one point, and he's still just taking forever over putts, backing off putts. I forget who it was, maybe Chris Powers on Twitter, saying he interviewed Brooks, saying that Brooks said that the group in front of them was super slow and was taking forever. Rahm went to the bathroom 7 times, and they were still waiting, so that's tough. There's multiple different camera views of we would see Cantlay and Hovland. I don't think it was Hovland really. I think it was all Cantlay. We would see camera views of Brooks and Rahm just standing in the fairway waiting, or literally just sitting on the benches bullshitting because they're waiting forever. I think if you're never gonna penalize people, people need to be called out. Honestly, I thought Brooks was going to do more of a call out. Would have been sick if I put this on Twitter too. Would have been sick if Victor just called out Cantlay, saying it was impossible to get in a groove when the guy you're playing with is an asshole and just doesn't care about pace of play. Would have been sick because they're not going to actually penalize. How about you penalize them from a publicity standpoint and do something to make it stop? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, brutal. Just being an amateur standing in the fairway or standing on the tee box waiting is tough. So I can't imagine what it's like with major championship pressure on you, having to wait, and you can't just get in your routine and go when you want to. So tough. In that same group with Cantlay, Victor Hovland doing his usual thing. Like I said, I think on the first day, what I thought he would do is do that Homer Simpson, just backing into the bushes once he gets in contention. Exactly what he did. Was never really competitive. He had 5 in a row at one point. 5 birdies in a row at one point on the back 9 of the third round. But still just couldn't do anything in the final round. Just backs away. Never really got it done. A couple other stories. Sahith Theegala, third best round of the day, had a sick Tiger-esque chip in on 16. I'm pretty sure you pronounce the first name Sahith Theegala for the first name Sahith, and then it was funny, Jim Nantz made a point of saying Sahith Theegala. He got his last name right, but he totally screwed up the Sahith, his first name part, which, tough look, Nantz. Speaking of Nantz, I thought the final call, which is always epic, was pretty weak. Quote unquote, Rahm wins the Masters Marathon. Granted, I'm not Jim Nantz, but just hearing it, I knew Jon Rahm was going to win, but I wanted to see the winning putt and see what Nantz had to say. Thought it was underwhelming, pretty weak. And other storylines, I think I covered everything that I thought from the fourth round. Overall, this whole process of me doing this for the Masters coverage, I know I'm not the only one that does this. I know a lot of channels and media personalities way bigger than I am do this, and you can always go and watch somewhere else. But to those that did tune in, thank you. I really did enjoy doing this, and I plan on doing it for the rest of the majors and additional big events too. Please do definitely subscribe if you enjoyed any of the videos, and please reach out with any kind of feedback, suggestions, whatever you think. If it sucked, give me a comment. Let me know. And besides that, check me out on Twitter too if you'd like. And we will see you next time. We've got let's do one more thing before I leave. What's next? U.S. Open, U.S. Open, LACC. No, that's at the end. PGA Championship, right? No, I don't know. Oh, I'm seeing the tennis, U.S. Open, golf. It is. Come on. LACC. It is June 15th. No. So then the PGA Championship's up next, right? PGA Championship at Oak Hill, correct? Am I correct? Or we're going to find out? Yes. All right. There we go. So next time you'll see me, potentially, we might get something in again. I doubt I'm going to do anything for the Heritage next week, even though it's a designated event. But PGA Championship, Oak Hill, May 18th to 21st. Look forward to doing another 4 days of recaps there. And enjoy your Sunday nights. Congrats to Jon Rahm. And we'll see you next time. All right.